again, everyone. Mr. Beltran here. Today we are going to play a little pool, all right? Or sometimes it's called billiards. But before we get started, we're going to need some equipment, okay? So the first thing we're going to need is a pool stick, okay? Now normally pool sticks are really long, okay? We're not going to use a really long one. We're going to use something a lot shorter. Some examples that you can use as a pool stick: a paper towel roll, okay, that will work. You could also use a pencil or a pen or a marker. This is a brand new pencil, so it's not sharpened. That way I don't accidentally poke myself. Okay, but you can use something like that. You can get a piece of paper and roll it up. Okay, if you take a piece of paper, roll it up, and then kind of squish it down a little bit, kind of makes a similar shape like this. Okay, that's what we're going to be using as our pool stick. If you have something else that's similar to this, that is safe, that you're allowed to use, you can use that as your pool stick. But those are just a couple examples of what you can use. Also, you are going to need some paper, about 10 to 20 pieces of paper. All right, they don't have to be brand new. You can use scratch paper, old paper. I got my paper, or most of my paper, I got it from my recycle bin. Okay, so stuff that I didn't need anymore, I'm just now using it for this activity. So go ahead and grab what you're going to use as your pool stick, and then also that 10 to 20 sheets of paper. Okay, and once you get that stuff, I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so now hopefully you had a chance to grab what you're going to use as your pool stick, and you got those sheets of paper. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of those sheets of paper, and we want to cut it up into 4 pieces. Now, you can do it 2 different ways. You can take some scissors, and you can cut them across this way, and then across this way, so that it creates 4 squares, or maybe they're rectangles, but 4 of them, okay? You can also just fold your paper in half like this, okay? And then once you fold it, you can rip it, and then fold it in half again, and then rip it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want them to be kind of equal sized, okay? After you do that, okay, so now we have 4 of those pieces of paper. I already did mine here, okay? Oh, let me see here. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And they're all about the same size, okay? Pretty close. Then, with that other paper that you have, okay, you're going to crumple them up into little balls, all right? Try to crumple them down as much as you can, okay? Squeeze them really tight. We want them to be nice and round as possible, okay? In regular pool, there's normally 15 balls. For us, you can use anywhere from about 5 to 15 if you want. Okay, I think I have about 8 or 9. Okay, so I have somewhere in the middle. But try to have at least 5. You know, if you want to make 15 of them, that's great. But try to have at least 5 or somewhere in between. Like me, like I said, I have about 8 or 9. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do that. Go ahead and crumple up those balls and cut that paper into 4 squares, and then I'll show you how to set up our pool game. Now that you've finished making all that equipment, I'm going to show you how to set it up. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take those 4 squares that we made, 4 pieces of paper, and we're going to put it on the ground in a square shape. So I'm going to put one up on the ground over here, one on the other side, one back here a little bit, and one on this side of the back. So if I connected them, it would make a square shape. You can do this on the ground. If you have smooth floor like I do, it'll work pretty well. If you have carpet or rug down here, it'll still work. It's just going to be a little bit harder. Okay? You can also do this on a table or a desk if you want. The only thing with a table or a desk is a little bit smaller, so you're not going to have as much space. But you can still try it on there too if you want. Okay? So once I got those pieces of paper set up, I'm going to get those balls that I made. I'm going to grab all of them, however many you made. Okay? And I want you to hold them out. Now you can do this standing up. I'm just going to do it kneeling so that it's a little easier to see. I'm going to hold it kind of in the middle of my square that I made here, okay? And then I'm going to drop them, just like oval. And they're going to bounce and roll and go somewhere else. Leave them wherever they're at, okay? Now I've got my pool stick. For me, it's going to be a pencil. The goal here is for me to hit each ball into one of the 4 holes, or in pool they call it pockets. For us, we're using those little pieces of paper. Okay? It's going to count as going in if the ball lands on the paper. Okay, more on the paper. I know sometimes it's going to be like a little bit off the paper. As long as most of the ball is on the paper, we're going to count that as being in. Okay, so let me show you a little close-up on how you should try to hit the ball. Okay, so there are different ways to hold a pool stick and to hit a ball with it. I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it. Okay, if you have a different way or you want to try some different ways, you can. The main idea here is that you're hitting it with the end of your pool stick. Okay, you don't want to hit it with the long part. Even if you're using a paper towel roll, you want to hit it on the end. If you're using a piece of paper, hit it on the end, okay? So you're going to hold whatever item you're using at the end here, okay, with your favorite hand. This one right here is my right hand, so I'm holding it with my right hand. You're going to take your other hand and you place it on the ground. And in this space right here, you want to kind of rest your pool stick. Now some people, they like to bend their fingers. Some people like to put them straight. It's up to you. This is kind of where you can kind of find what you like. I like to bend my first finger and kind of bend it in, but my other 3 fingers are straight and my thumb is down on the ground. And then you're going to just slowly pull it back and forth, back and forth. And then when you're ready to hit it, you kind of push it forward a little bit faster. So it's back and forth, forward. Okay, I'm going to turn a little sideways so you can see it here. Okay, so it's going to be back and forth, and it hit it. So here's a ball, just as an example. Okay, so I'm going to put my hand a little bit behind the ball. I'm going to have my pool stick in between kind of that area of where my thumb is at. And I'm going to go back and forth, and when I'm ready to hit it, boom. Okay, just like that. So that's how you can hit a ball in pool. Now that you know how to hit a ball, what we're going to do is we're going to try to hit these balls onto the squares, those 4 pieces of paper that we have. So you could pick any ball that you want, come up to it, get your hand ready, and then I'm going to hit it, try to see if I can make it land on that square. Oh, got that one. If it lands on the square, you can just pick up that ball and then put it off to the side because you're done. You made that one. And try to get another one. Now, I'm going to see this one's a little closer to this side, so now I'm going to turn around a little bit. Try not to touch any of the other balls as you're moving around. And we're going to try to see if I can... Oh, missed. Let me try again. Oh, too hard, so I went a little bit past it. So now I'm going to come on this side. Oh, I'm running out of space over here. Almost. Oh, there, that one made it. Okay, take the ball, put it off to the side, I'm done with that. And then I would keep doing that until I got all of them in. Okay? It's not a race, so you don't have to go fast. You can try to count if you want. You can count how many hits it takes you to get all of your balls onto the squares if you want, but you don't need to. The main thing here is to practice trying to get that hit where you're going back and forth, and you hit the ball and then make it land on the square. Okay? So what I want you to do is for about 10 minutes, once you get off this video, set up what we've just done here in your house and play for about 10 minutes. Okay? When you're done with that, if you want to try something a little bit more challenging, you can click on the next video, which I would call Pool Level 2, okay? And you can try doing that instead. Okay, so after that, if you don't want to do the Level 2, you don't have to, but you can try it if you think you're up for a challenge. When you're done with that, don't forget, I always want you to finish with those stretches, and then also do that Google form, and I will see all of you next time.